Hello adventurers, I'm Gray and it's that time of the month again. Time for another Hytale Blog update where we get to see all that Hypixel Studios has been doing to progress the game over the past month. If you've never seen these videos on my channel before, basically we're going to be going through this. I'm going into it as fresh as you are. I'm going to read through it and give some thoughts and opinions on the different progress that they've been making and maybe some speculation and ideas for the future. Basically anything about Hytale I'm going to talk about. So to start off, hi everyone. In this progress update, we're going to welcome some new developers to Hypixel Studios, show off some recent prefabs and points of interest from later on in adventure mode, and show the progress being made with the AI system. That's what I'm most interested in. I want to see how the AI, how the characters in-game work. We're also releasing a new fan art showcase, which is nice. I might quickly breeze through that, and refreshing the media page to display the latest Hytale screenshots and clips. First though, a note on the coronavirus. We're extremely fortunate to be a team that already works remotely, which means our day-to-day working lives are less affected than they would otherwise be. However, we're still experiencing disruption in other ways like everyone else. They have no toilet paper, I'm sure. We'd like to reassure the community that we're staying safe, working hard in the game, and doing what we can to take care of the people around us. Thank you to everybody who has reached out. We're okay and hope that you're doing well too. I'm glad to hear they're doing okay, and if you're watching this video right now, you're probably in quarantine or in social isolation, staying somewhere, not going outside that much. I wish you all the best. Stay safe, stay healthy, everyone. If someone in your family is sick or your friends are sick, I hope that they recover. I really, really do. It's a really weird time for everyone right now. Like those in school, like me, are having to stay home and do everything online. It's strange. This is a historic time, and I just want everyone to stay safe. Let's just enjoy some Hytale videos together, though, because we can do that online at no risk. So, welcome to Ted and Graytale. This month, we welcome two new team members of Hypixel Studios. Timothy Ted Lestradet has joined the Hytale art team as a concept artist and 3D modeler. Nice to meet you, Ted. As part of his application, we asked for a paid art test to see what kinds of designs you could come up with for the game. Take a look. Ah, these are nice. Okay, so this was a paid art test. Keyword test. So I'm assuming that these things that he just drew aren't guaranteed to be in the game yet. They're concept art, they're ideas, they're things that might be added. However, just looking through these, some of them look pretty cool. I like how he's come up with different creatures for all the different zones within Hytale. You have some for Zone 2, including like the desert bird, some for Zone 3, some ice bugs. It looks like sort of an ice worm or centipede or something like that. Well, not a centipede because it doesn't have that many legs, but you have some fire salamanders, you have some water skippers and things like that. And even underground, he drew some sort of ghostly, this seems like sort of a, if it was a Pokemon, ghost fire type, something like that. Be pretty cool. My favorite thing on here, though, is probably the mouse at the bottom left. I like the idea of there just being an underground society. Like, I know we've learned about several different groups of tribes of NPCs and things like that. Most of them have been on the surface, at least the good ones. I'd like to see a nice tribe of something like mice people or even rat people or something underground that you can talk to. I think it would be cool to find underground cities and civilizations. Anyway, more detail. Here's the ghost guy. Version 1 V1, V2. V2 is more detailed, of course. And he got pretty detailed with this art. I quite like it. I wish I had some art skills. I know art is something you have to really practice a lot, and I just haven't had the time to practice that, but I'd love to draw all sorts of things. Please note these pieces were produced as part of an application and do not necessarily mean that they will make their way into the game, as I've mentioned. However, we hope you're as excited about what Ted can bring to the team. Here's a peek of some of his earliest works for Hytale, a set of concepts for twerk weaponry. So here's a twerk mace and a twerk club. Both of those look very much like a weapon an orc would use, or a troll orc, a twerk. And then Erica Greater Suopis, I am probably severely messing up these names. I'm sorry. Has joined Hypixel Studios, having previously worked on the Hypixel Minecraft server as a builder. Okay. He'll be creating new prefabs and points of interest for Hytale. We're not ready to show off any of his in-game work yet, but we can share a private project he's been working on in order to acclimatize to Hytale's engine and building tools. Check it out. Oh, okay. It's a nice looking castle and things like that. I'd like to know what kinds of things he's built for the Hypixel Minecraft server, just as another point of reference. That would be a cool thing to know. Once again, it's a test piece though, not an in-game location, but we can't wait to see what his talent brings to Hytale. Alright, so next, Scorched Ruins. The world team has been hard at work on new biomes, prefabs, and world generation rules. These new environments come from parts of adventure mode that we've not yet discussed in much detail. As ever, we're mindful of spoilers, so we're only going to be revealing a small amount of what you'll encounter in the latter stages of the game. Today, let's take a look at some desolate human ruins created by technical artist Rodan. Clearly something went very wrong in these Ashen Wastelands, but as for exactly what, well, you need to discover that for yourself. Okay, let's see what we can parse out of this. That's certainly some sort of wasteland, some sort of ruined here. You can't really see too much. Actually, when I do that, it's more zoomed out than if I just leave it. I can see that it's definitely sort of a stonish structure, has sort of a thatch roof. It's kind of falling apart, but it's not as ruiny as I sort of expected it to be, but it's definitely abandoned. This wasteland seems to have been, like everyone who's settled here has probably been either ran away or killed, so now it's pretty much abandoned. I'm assuming there's monsters inside and maybe some loot as well. The torches are still burning, but there's nobody around. Classic Skyrim dungeon. Ah, and here's another sort of darker, more sinister feel. This looks like it's in Zone 3 this time, whereas this one looks more like a Zone 2 style? I'm not quite sure. This one also looks like it's rather cold though, even though it's a little bit more brown, more Zone 2 looking. This one's definitely Zone 3-ish. And it looks pretty sinister and evil. There's some glowing purple mushrooms, I believe. Blue lanterns everywhere. This lonely old building was built by technical artist Captain Charles and then ruinified by Rodan. And then some ruins conceal hidden dangers while others lost lore. Okay, why not both? Yeah, so this looks like another sort of dungeon-y type place, where I'm guessing it would be really cool if you can explore just different structures, even if they're randomly generated, just like different structures scattered around the world, and you can go in there and maybe find some books or some text or something like that that provides the lore about the world of Hytale, the world of Orbis, or even like the multiverse, the multi-worlds that they have. I think it would be cool if you could find more info about that, sort of just world building, just scattered around. I think it's called like environmental storytelling. I'd like to see a lot of environmental storytelling here. I want Hytale, at least the adventure mode of Hytale, to be like sandboxy, of course, like Minecraft, you can build all this stuff, but still have a lot of lore, a lot of story, a lot of history to the world that makes it really interesting to explore. Because half the fun in a lot of these open world games like Skyrim is just reading books, talking to characters, and finding out more about their backstory in the world. I think that'd be a really cool thing. So AI additions. Almost a year ago, we revealed how Hytale's modular AI system allows our team to create and modify complex behaviors for the variety of creatures that populate Orbis. Over the last couple of months, we've been building out the behavior sets for adventure modes, NPCs, while expanding the AI system with new functionality. This is the stuff I find to be really exciting, because from the outside, it might seem sort of boring learning about the technicalities of an AI system and how they're made and all that stuff, but this is what's going to make the game world feel alive. The NPCs, the characters, the monsters, the creatures, all these AI systems working together and interacting with the player, that's what makes the game stand out from others, in my opinion. That's what I really like to see. So if they make it really good, that'll make Hytale so much more appealing for me. Hytale's modular AI now includes a utility system, which allows NPCs to determine the value of given behaviors based on any number of circumstances. These values are then used to help NPCs make decisions, which allows for more dynamic behaviors and in turn more surprising interactions for the player. We plan to make extensive use of this utility system in Hytale's combat AI, as it will allow NPCs to make smarter choices when selecting attacks. Okay, so if that sounded a bit confusing, just parsing it out right here and right now, it seems like they'll have a priority system in a way, so that their actions aren't set in stone. It's not like one thing happens and they have to do this action. Instead, they'll have a whole set of tons of behaviors, and since it's completely modular, coders and people can add their own sort of actions that these NPCs can do and add their own priorities to them. And then rather than always doing the same thing in reaction, they'll weigh the different things they can do and try and pick the optimal one or an interesting one or something else that's different, so it won't be the same thing every time and it'll feel more organic. And I think that's much better than just having it be a set thing that they do every time, especially in something like combat. That'll make combat more interesting. Like comparing it to something like Minecraft, of course Minecraft is a simpler type of game. The AI is more simple. Monsters all react in the same way in combat and do the same actions, basically. Their AI is very simple for each type of creature and monster. It looks like Hytale's trying to be a bit different from that and have all the creatures have their own different set of values, different set of random things they can do, which will hopefully make combat encounters more interesting, exciting, and complex. That's the goal. We'll see once we get our hands on the game. We're not ready to show this in action just yet, but we can show some new behaviors that make use of Hytale's Modular AI to provide the player with interesting ways to interact with the world. Let's start with a really basic example. In this clip, the player throws out a piece of cheese to draw the attention of a nearby mouse. Alright, let's full screen this. Oh, that's a cute mouse. Wonder how long it takes for the mouse to eat the cheese. Oh, there it goes. Okay, so I can tell that this is a bit of a work in progress. I would kind of like to see maybe a little bit of nibbling sounds, maybe some particle effects coming off the cheese while it does that. Maybe there should be a way to like tame the mouse, so maybe if you just feed it some cheese, then you can eventually make it to be your friend and it'll follow you, and maybe you can put it on your shoulder or something like that, take it home, make a little mouse cage, make some pets out of that. I think the idea of having more pets, because we've mostly just seen we've seen dogs, we've seen cats, and also I think we saw a chocobo type thing, that like a mount type thing. I'd like more options to get different pets for the friendly creatures in the game, so I think that would be a cool idea to be added in the future. But I do like the dynamic AI, and whenever they make it so that animals and creatures will react in a way that the player would intuitively expect them to react. The goal is to not make the player have to look things up on a wiki. The goal is to make players sort of think of interesting things to try, and have the AI react in unique and interesting ways based off the player's experimentation. If they can manage to do that, that would be really great. Ordinarily, mice will flee when the player approaches. In this case, the mouse detects that there's food nearby. While it's eating, it's a lot calmer, which allows the player to approach, but when it's done, it'll flee again. A single piece of cheese can be munched on by multiple mice at the same time. I'm guessing the cheese would disappear faster when multiple mice are eating it. Mice tend to gather around barrels and chests in dungeons, so keep your eye out. They might lead you to some loot. Oh, okay. I wonder if it would be cool if you could put like a ton of cheese in like a chest or something like that, or maybe a ton of cheese in a barrel. And then the mice would just try and gather around it and like try and get in even though they can't. And that's a good way to like bring in a lot of mice. You can use bait to momentarily placate other kinds of creatures too, including the dangerous fenstalker. Okay, full screen. Oh, it's a fish! I don't think we've seen fish on the ground like this. Oh, I like how the fenstalker takes this one. Is he your friend now? Is this like, I know they're dangerous, but like, if you feed them some fish, I'm guessing you wouldn't be able to make them an ally, but could you make them sort of complacent to you for a while? And so they won't attack you, so you can kind of just hang around them for a little bit? I think that's what they're saying here, honestly. I think that's pretty cool. Of course, I'm sure other creatures like Scarix would not be quite so kind, even if you try to bait them. But something like fenstalkers, they seem almost humanoid, somewhat intelligent. It makes sense. When a fenstalker is enjoying a fish, its view radius is halved. Under-equipped, cautious adventurers can use this information to bypass threats when combat isn't a good option. This is particularly useful at night when fenstalkers are most aggressive. If you're crossing a swampy biome in the dark, you may find a torch more useful than a sword. Okay, so it seems like it's not what I was thinking a moment ago. So they're not going to be completely passive to you if you feed them. However, the view distance is halved. So if you're going at nighttime, you carry like a torch on you just to keep the light up because they're more aggressive when it's dark, and toss them some fish, and then you can kind of sneak around them whenever they're eating and all that type of stuff. Especially if you're like low on HP. So that adds like a whole new way to get around monsters rather than just fighting literally everything. And next we have fenstalkers that will shrink away from the player if they're carrying a torch. So that's why they said carry a torch earlier. Simulating the effect that bright light has on these nocturnal hunters. Each of these behaviors is based on separate triggers. The modular AI system uses time of day to determine fenstalker aggression, and initiates the cowering behavior if they're confronted with a bright light source. Taken together, they help to flesh out the personality of this light-sensitive monster. Okay, let's watch this. I saw a frog. This has such a cool atmosphere, I just want to say. I love how swamps feel in this game. Like, they feel so much more murky and grimy and muddy and really imposing and foreboding compared to something like Minecraft swamps, where it's just like swampy trees and a little bit darker water. Of course, it's a different style of game, so it makes sense. It's more adventure-based. But I just love the atmosphere, especially with like the rain coming down in the swamp. at nighttime, that's a really scary feeling. So, not every behavior revolves around the player. Fen stalkers might be dangerous to adventurers, but they're very protective of their friends. In this case, frogs. That's cute. Oh my gosh. I love that. It's just really cute. Fen stalkers love frogs. Hytale's modular AI system lets us establish relationships between creatures of different types, predators and prey, territorial rivals, or in this case, best buds. When a fen stalker encounters a frog, it'll happily jump up and down and mimic its favorite creature. Fen stalkers will also rush to defend any frogs that find themselves in danger, so if you're hunting frogs, beware. You might just end up picking on somebody your own size. Interactions like this help us establish the personality of our world and its inhabitants, and give players tricks and traps to discover as they explore. Let's close out with a look at the unique hunting behavior of a creature that you'll encounter in Zone 2, the Unassuming Cactii. We've seen a little bit about cacti before, but when I say little, we've seen very little about this, so this is our first real look at their behavior. Well, you're gonna have to be pulling some pricks out of your back for a while. Man, what is this? It's like Weeping Angels, except even more scary. Let's see, is there anything unique to spot here? I don't think so. They're being very careful about spoilers now in these videos like this. I love this. They're just such trolls. Look at these little troublemakers. Walking cacti. Truly a master of stealth. We hope you've enjoyed this glimpse at some of the things we've been working on lately. While you're here, be sure to check out our latest fan art showcase to see some of the incredible art that the Hytale community has produced over the last couple of months. Best regards, and stay safe. Okay, as per usual, I'll have this showcase and the fan art showcase linked in the description, so you can check that out just through one click there. I just want to say though, when it comes to the AI, I am really excited for how modular it is. Because when it comes to custom maps and minigames and things like that, it's always been a little bit difficult to do in something like Minecraft. It's got better over time, so you can use like villagers to talk to you, give some dialogue if you're like good at command blocks and coding and stuff like that. And you can work out ways to do choices in the chat as well. But if you could have all these AI move around in any way you want them to in an easy to modulate fashion, and add your own behaviors to all these creatures and add your own text to them, you could create some really unique stories and maps and things like that. And I'm really excited to see what talented creators make in this game involving all these different things that you can change. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of close this out while I pan through these fan art showcases. I'd recommend checking out all of these artists. They're the talented people who are keeping the Hytale community alive. I love all of them. They're all great, so check them all out. The link to this fan art showcase is in the description. Anyway, thoughts on this blog post set? I think they're pretty good. Now, once again, I like the monthly vlog updates, even if they're not huge and showcasing tons of stuff. If it goes on detail on one thing like AI, I think that's fine. That's enough to keep people invested, to keep people interested until the beta releases next year, I believe they said. And it keeps me excited as well. I love making Hytale videos. I love keeping up with the community, following what's going on. I haven't been that active, and I know I haven't been that active, but I have to say, it's hard to do all these videos that require you to plan out, to come up with different topics and be creative whenever you're in school to become a doctor. It is a big time investment for both making videos and doing school stuff. It's a lot of work, and I'm having a hard time just keeping up with school alone. So trying to make Hytale videos all the time is quite difficult for me. Even though I know this is a Hytale-based channel and I want to do a lot more. I would love to do at least one Hytale video a week. I know there are other channels doing it way better than I am, and I want to say I really appreciate all of you. Everyone doing Hytale videos right now, good work. You're keeping the community alive, and I really appreciate it. Keep on doing what you're doing. I wish I could do that type of stuff. But it's a grind. It's a big grind right now, and I'm just doing my best to make it through. Fortunately, I do have a little bit more time right now due to the whole coronavirus type thing. Now all of school is online. I'm at home. Everything's done from there. It's Legos. Cool. I just built a Lego rocket at home with my dad. It was a really good time. If any of you guys haven't done Legos or haven't hung out with your parents in a little while, would recommend building Legos with them. It's always a good time. They really enjoy that. But yeah, I'm so excited for Hytale. It's my most excited game, my most hyped game for the entirety of next year. There is a lot of art in here. I'm going to scroll faster, and I'm going to start ending off this video. Hopefully you all enjoyed this video, this Hytale video. If you did, I'd appreciate a like, comment, or a subscription. I'm going to keep on doing these videos about Hytale up until the game releases. And after the game releases, I'm going to do all sorts of gameplay videos about Hytale. It's going to be a good time, so if you're interested, I'd appreciate you following me for all sorts of new Hytale content. That's all for now, and I hope to see you all on the next adventure!